O Lord, our Lord, how excellent is thy name in all the earth, who hast set thy glory above the heavens. Out of the mouth of babes and sucklings hast thou ordained strength because of thine enemies, that thou mightest still the enemy and the avenger. When I consider thy heavens, the work of thy fingers, the moon and the stars, which thou hast ordained. What is man, that thou art mindful of him, and the Son of Man, that thou visit? For thou hast made him a little lower than the angels, and hast crowned him with glory and honor. Thou madest him to have dominion over the works of thy hands. Thou hast put all things under his feet, all sheep and oxen, yea, and the beasts of the field, the fowl of the air, and the fish of the sea, and whatsoever passeth through the paths of the seas. O Lord, our Lord, how excellent is thy name in all the earth. Psalm 8 opens with a magnificent declaration. O Lord, our Lord, how majestic is your name in all the earth. From the start, David exalts God's name above all things. His tone is worshipful, reverent, and full of awe. The psalm begins and ends with this exact refrain, creating a poetic frame that centers the entire message on God's glory and majesty. It's not just about what God does, it's about who he is. His name, his nature, his presence. It is majestic across the entire earth. As we move into verse 2, we see a fascinating twist. Out of the mouth of babes and infants, you have ordained strength. Here, David highlights an unexpected source of power. In ancient cultures, children were considered weak or dependent, yet David declares that God uses their voices to silence enemies and avengers. This isn't just poetic. Jesus himself quotes this verse in Matthew 21:16, when children cry out, Hosanna to the Son of David. It reminds us that God's strength is often revealed in our weakness, and that even the smallest voice can be used to glorify him. Then in verse 3, David turns his eyes to the heavens. When I consider your heavens, the work of your fingers, the moon and the stars, which you have ordained. You can picture him gazing into a night sky filled with stars, marveling at the vastness of the universe. He calls it the work of your fingers. Not hands, not arms, just fingers. This subtle imagery conveys how easy it was for God to create such grandeur. The stars and moon, which can take our breath away, are just fingerwork for the Almighty. And in that moment of awe, David asks the question that echoes in every human heart verse, For what is man that you are mindful of him, and the Son of Man that you care for him? This is the core of Psalm 8. Amid such cosmic brilliance, why would God take notice of fragile, flawed human beings? It's a question of identity and worth, and the answer comes not in what we do, but in who God is. He is mindful of us, not because we are mighty, but because he is loving. He values us because we are made in his image. Verse 5 expands on this idea. You have made him a little lower than the angels and crowned him with glory and honor. The Hebrew word here, Elohim, can also mean God. Some translations say a little lower than God. Either way, this verse speaks to the high calling and dignity God has given to humanity. Despite our smallness in comparison to creation, we are crowned with glory and honor, not because we earned it, but because God chose it. In verses 6 to 8, David recounts the authority God has entrusted to humanity. You have made him to have dominion over the works of your hands. All sheep and oxen heaven, the beasts of the field, the birds of the air, and the fish of the sea. This echoes the creation mandate in Genesis 1:28, where God tells Adam and Eve to rule over the earth. Psalm 8 reconnects us with that original purpose, to steward, care for, and govern the earth under God's ultimate kingship. It's important to realize that this dominion isn't about domination, it's about responsibility. God has entrusted us with the care of his creation, and that is both a gift and a task. We reflect his image, not just by existing, but by acting in line with his will, bringing justice, order, and mercy to the world around us. Then, the psalm ends just as it began. O Lord, our Lord, how majestic is your name in all the earth. It's a powerful bookend to a journey that began with God's glory in the heavens and ended with his image in us. This structure is intentional. It shows that even though humanity holds a special place in creation, the true focus remains on God's majesty. It's all about his name, his nature, and his glory. Psalm 8 is also deeply messianic. In Hebrews 2:6-9, the writer quotes Psalm 8 to show how Jesus fulfills it. Jesus, though made lower than the angels for a time, is now crowned with glory and honor because of his suffering and resurrection. He is a true Son of Man who brings dominion back to God's original purpose. Through Christ, we see the perfect example of Psalm 8 fulfilled. He rules not with cruelty, but with compassion. He shows us what it truly means to reflect the image of God. So what does Psalm 8 teach us today? First, that you matter to God. He is mindful of you. In a world that often diminishes human worth, this psalm stands as a reminder that your life is significant because of what you do, but because of who you are to God. Second, it reminds us to worship. Whether you're looking at a night sky or the face of a newborn, the majesty of God is all around you, and that majesty should lead us to bow in humility and rise in praise. Third, Psalm 8 calls us to responsibility. We've been crowned with glory, but we must wear that crown well by caring for creation, loving others, and walking in righteousness. And finally, it points us to Jesus, the perfect fulfillment of this psalm. In him, we see humanity and divinity united. In him, we see the true meaning of being crowned with glory and honor. So the next time you feel small, remember Psalm 8, look up at the stars, feel the weight of your worth, and declare, O Lord, our Lord, how majestic is your name in all the earth.